Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Game 2 and the map that is known as Overgrowth. We're spawning in the bottom left position as the blue Terran player. We have MorroW. His opponent spawning in the top right position. Currently 1-0 up in this best of 3. We have, ladies and gentlemen, representing TeamLiquid.net, it's Bunny. Alright. So, pretty exciting game number 1. Let's see if we end up going for the gas first openings once again in game number 2 on Overgrowth here. It is another TVT. And it looks like we're preparing to put the barracks down first for Bunny. We are, but we have got the gas first once again coming out for MorroW here. So are we going to see another race to Starport? Are we going to see that sort of weirder build that started with the gas first, went into a Reaper that did nothing unfortunately, and then came back to that Cloak Banshee out of MorroW this time around in game 2? I don't know. And we have confirmation, by the way, that a lucky draw is now live on facebook.com/NorCraft Cup. So go ahead, go to Facebook and sign up. Make sure you like that page there. Because just before the final is played today, we're going to have a winner's draw for gaming headsets and mice. So make sure you check that out. Bunny did go for that barracks first, and he's now going to be following it up with a Reaper. So we have, I think that's an SCV Scout, it is, just going to be popping in to see what's going on here. We'll see that there's no add-on started on the barracks, see the timing on the factory and go, actually, I think I'm okay here. I know that that was a gas first opening, and I'm going to run away in case that's a Reaper, but it's actually going to be a Marine. I suspect he knows because of the 100 gas going down into the factory that he wasn't able to get a Reaper straight away. He's actually going to be getting it after the Marine here. And now we have the Reaper of Bunny moving out towards the center of the map. So cool. Thanks very much, by the way, to everybody in chat today. We're live, of course, on hitbox.tv. Sponsors of this tournament as well. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the feedback with the Reddit thread as well. The admins have picked up on it, have been notified, and we'll be editing that very shortly. So we do appreciate it. Make sure you keep the feedback coming. You can also tweet me at JoRoSaR. As well as tweet at NorCraft Cup. Let them know what you think of the tournament, what you think of the players, and who you reckon will be around in the brackets come the semifinals and finals. Who do you actually want to walk away with the entire thing? I was chatting to my flatmate about it a little bit last night, and he basically said he wants to see a Snute Bunny final. While I certainly think it's possible, and they're definitely two of the favorite players in the tournament, it's definitely not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination, although Bunny is at least doing a good job of getting 1 foot in a semi-final so far. Currently 1-0 up in this best of 3, and this Reaper needs to watch out just a little bit. We've got that classic Reaper, Hellion Marine harassment. Oh, 1 Reaper goes down, 1 Marine goes down, and 2 Marines go down. Definitely advantage MorroW there. Unfortunately, the bunker is the equivalent of a cheat code. Bunny's using Game Shark here, guys, and I don't think MorroW can capitalize on his momentum, on his advantage here, to sort of move further on in this game. And we have actually, once again, got that Cloak Banshee after that Reaper opening out of MorroW, so he is going to be going for 2 games in a row here. In the meantime, the starport is starting for Bunny. He's also got the engineering bay going down, so potentially this is just for upgrades, but he could also, conceivably, if he wants to go aggressive with Banshees, for example, put missile turrets back up at home. I suspect it's going to be for an upgrade, and he's going to get something like a Viking. Oh, okay, yep, and he's getting a Viking. And potentially a Raven to follow it up, but I don't think he needs a missile turret in the mineral line. Interestingly, he's putting one out here near the production structures, so he's saying, right, I need 1 missile turret and a Viking, and I'm just going to be able to make things as annoying for you as possible. Wow, that's a little paranoid. We've also got a second and a third one. 1 in each mineral line plus the production structures. I wonder if that's necessary if we've also got the Viking, but hey, better be safe than sorry, as Goody would always say. Now we have the Raven follow-up. We've got 9 seconds until Cloak completes, and oh dear. Well, it's currently at half health, and I think he's not going to be very happy with this result. And the missile turret means that actually this Banshee's just going to have to go straight out as well. There is not a lot he can do right now. Oh wow, using a scan just to make sure that that Banshee never sees the light of day. So we've got 3 missile turrets and a scan, but to be fair to Bunny, that means there's 0 threat from MorroW whatsoever. MorroW is actually, rather than being more aggressive off the back of this, he's going very, very eco-heavy. His third base is being built on location. Bunny's is being built inside his base. So he's going very aggressive on the eco front, like we saw in that last game, except towards the end, actually, Bunny got the economic advantage, and that's the main reason why he was able to power through in the end and win that game. How is this going to pay off on Overgrowth, though? It's a smaller map. It's a 2-player map. The players know exactly where each other are at all times. It's just a little bit trickier, I would say. Are we going to see another mech-esque composition coming out from MorroW? He's certainly looking that way at the moment with the number of Hellions he's building, but I'm not 100% sure. He sees actually the Hellions from Bunny as well. So both of them just posturing around trying to work out what they're doing right now. Vikings coming in, and we actually have Cloak, by the way, finishing up for Bunny's own Banshee. So the delayed Cloak Banshee just seems to be in vogue at the moment, guys. Normally we see a race up to Cloak Banshee, and now it's like a race up to Vikings, maybe something else, chucking a Reaper there in the early game, and throw in Cloak Banshees when you feel like it. Does seem to be the order of the day. Now the Cloak Banshees, by the way, did absolutely nothing for MorroW at all. So we could get a situation here where he's going to be pretty surprised by the follow-up Cloak Banshee coming out from Bunny. And this Hellion, well, he's definitely going to spot it. He's also being shot at the moment, and he is actually going to go down. So the first casualty of Cloak. And looks like we have a Reaper and a Hellion coming in to sort of investigate things here, but unfortunately they're just going to be investigating explosions. Yes, we do actually see the Cloak being used, but we now have a Raven out here for MorroW to chase that away. He will successfully be able to do that. Oh, he's coming in for round 2, and that's not a good idea. I think with the Raven here as well, this Banshee is toast, so both players getting into situations where their Banshees just weren't able to do anything. We also have another little bit of harassment in the main base, courtesy of a Cloak Banshee, which unfortunately now has no energy as well. So it's not going to take very long for these Vikings to get in there, and at that point, you're in a lot of trouble indeed. And here we go. Is he going to be able to pick up an assimilator? Well, yes he is. Okay. Why MorroW waited for that and then built another one rather than repairing it is slightly beyond me, but hey, that's okay. Potentially tense moment. Watching it burn down there from 12 hit points. And now both sides mining comfortably from their third bases. It's 58 to 52 supply as far as worker count goes. And that's actually in favor of Bunny at the moment, so he's doing an alright job on the macro front. No complaints there. He's also saved up a couple of scans in case he needs them. Both sides, of course, have those Cloak Banshees, still continuing to be a threat. And a single Marauder actually is making life rather difficult for these Hellions right now. Unfortunately, Marauders number 2 and 3 will make life impossible for them. Back at home, got double upgrades on Bio for Bunny, so he's not going, not switching it up and going into any sort of mech composition. However, MorroW is. More factories here. You can see the armories have just completed. He's making 2 Hellbats at a time now from this factory. And he's constantly trying to add more and more. Now, he already has a larger army than he did at the end of last game, guys. He's already up to 120 supply. What he needs to do is build his army up to sort of 160, 170 supply before considering moving out. If he does that, then I think he's in a much, much better place. Bunny, when he recognizes that this is the kind of army being built, he's going to want to whittle away at that as much as possible, because a smaller mech army is simply a lot less useful and a lot less mobile. Scan being used to take out that Widow Mine there, and Bunny, losing the element of surprise, decides to move back to the Watchtower for now. MorroW, in the meantime, is setting himself up in a pretty decent defensive position. He can kind of siege his tanks up around here to try and defend this base, and also to defend the ramp coming up to this base. an excellent scan actually coming out of Bunny. Will be able to spot the army positioning and everything that's going on. Also sees the 2 medevacs, but perhaps doesn't see that they're full at the moment. And we actually have 2 Hellbats in each. So potentially going to use those to drop on top of the bio army at the start of a potential engagement. We'll have to keep an eye out for that one. A single Hellbat going to be lookout there. Guys, I think I see and he's gone. And this Reaper as well. Yeah, not the best base to engage your opponent, gonna be honest. We've got another command center coming out. He could actually run in stim, kill that, and move out if he really wants to. And, well, I think both sides know where their armies are now. And we have that cancelled command center. And the tank lines are being drawn. Ooh, he's actually unsieging right now. Needs to be a little bit careful in case Bunny gets counterattacked. But he is just going to move back towards the gold base location right now. And behind this, more mech continuously being built. We've also got the bottom right base being taken and the top left base being taken by both players, actually with a slight lead to MorroW. MorroW is now at 185 supply. This is a much, much more comfortable position than he ever enjoyed in game number 1. So, wow. This, I think this is actually just a much better situation for MorroW to be in. Except, is he going to be able to take this particular game, actually? Wow, that bio army is crushing through that initial concave from Bunny there. Really wasn't helpful to him at all. And while these tanks have done a lot of damage, the initial concave, I think, killed off something like 2/3 of the siege tanks there. So almost a little bit of anti-timing coming out of there from MorroW. But I want to point out, guys, something that's really, really important. 3 different upgrades just finished for Bunny. Oh no, he's picking up these 2 tanks as well. I feel like Bunny's actually getting a massive lead in this game now. He's going to be able to pick apart this 3rd base. Bunny attacked there just before his 2-2 upgrades finished. I want to point that out because he saw the opportunity and absolutely went for it. I think he needs full credit for that, really. And these 2 siege tanks plus these Hellbats being dropped on the bio should be enough to kill off the rest of these guys. The bio is actually very, very low on hit points as well. So I'm not sure he'll be able to run. These medevacs chasing these marauders and marines saying, please don't kill me. Unfortunately, they're going to be able to kill off everyone. That is a great example of how imbalanced Hellbats are, at least against units that have about 5 hit points left. So, MorroW, big crucial points in the game, moved his mech army down the ramp, and that allowed the bio here to get an excellent concave in these kind of positions. If the tanks were simply here, and the concave was kind of in this sort of position, it makes it a lot more difficult for Bunny to move in. Would he have been able to win and just stim in and win that initial fight? Yes, probably. I'm not saying it can't happen, but he would have lost a lot more if the tanks were up here instead of en route down here. I can guarantee you that much. So the positioning from MorroW there, making a little bit of a mistake, and as a result, just kind of giving Bunny a little bit of breathing room. He is still on 150 supply, though. So we'll see how well he can do this. And MorroW's now moving out again. He has to be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to accidentally give away positioning. That's why he's scanning in advance, wanting to go take the watchtower. He's got 2 Hellbats there now. And the Hellbats go, oh, hang on a second. I definitely don't want to mess with this. Is he going to be able to kill even a single Marine? No, he is not. And Bunny just being very aggressive. Wow, very aggressive indeed. He's got his own gold base that he's taking his opponent's gold base as well. He's saying, look, I know you're just trying to wait until you have the ultimate mech army, but while you're waiting, I'm going to mine out the entire friggin' map. And if we take a look at the mineral count right now, Bunny is over 3,000 minerals a minute. So he's doing a great job. And behind this, guys, we have Yamato cannons incoming. So once again, the battlecruiser transition, except this time at the sub 20-minute mark coming in. We have Bio Viking battlecruiser coming up from Bunny. What can this army do from MorroW? Well, not a lot. He's only got a couple of Vikings. So the same thing that beat him in game number 1. Actually, Bunny's rolling it out significantly earlier. He's taking both gold bases and he's gone battle cruisers. There's actually nothing MorroW can do about this. He's going to try and counterattack, but I'll tell you who's going to win this base race. The more mobile army is going to win this base race, and that's going to be Bunny. So even though the supply is above 160 and he's got a much bigger mech army this time around, the air superiority for Liquid Bunny looks like that the Bio Battlecruiser combination is going to comfortably win it. And well, these production structures, they're being camped out now as well, so additional units cannot be made and brought out from MorroW. He's moving his army across the middle of the map, and more of this army is actually going down right now. Hellbats are being dropped on top of the bio, but it's slowly starting to get smaller and smaller. Hey, and look at this. There's nothing left here that can shoot up, so these two battlecruisers are actually going to eventually mop up everything, whereas this army is currently unstoppable, and I think that's the issue. The counterattack from MorroW cannot succeed because nothing can beat these battlecruisers. GG is called. Good luck in the tournament from MorroW, and Liquid Bunny, ladies and gentlemen, is going to take a 2-0 victory over Team Properties MorroW to move on to the semi-finals of the final day of the NorCraft Cup.